said. "I'm looking for a fella. You might know him. I have an apartment number." "We know him. You can bet your white ass we won't be pointing him out," Shower Cap said. "Well, as I prefer not to bet, my white ass, thank you for your time," I said. I walked through a gap in the near circle they had made, and I didn't look back. When it came to young men with nothing to do and chips on their shoulder, you handled it the way you handle junkyard dogs. Show no fear, don't make eye contact, and walk away slowly and hope they don't bite you on the ass. I walked toward where I thought the number of the apartment might be, but wasn't. The numbers were wonky. I went around the other side of the apartment. There were a bunch of kids playing on that side, boys and girls, 11 years old or so, kicking a ball around. They stopped as I came around the corner. White man sightings were as rare as Bigfoot in those parts. One of the little girls said, "What you doing around here?" She was rough-looking, had her hair in cornrows, and was wearing clothes that looked to have been handed down from someone larger. She had on pink tennis shoes with dirty white shoestrings in them. She wore an oversized t-shirt with writing that said, "My ass matches your face." Charming. "Looking for someone," I said. "You Popo?" "I am not the Popo. Aren't you kids supposed to be in school or maybe setting fire to something?" "It's Saturday, fool," the girl said. "You know," I said, "it is." "Course it is. And tomorrow'll be Sunday and the day after that be Monday." "In school, I bet you make A's." "Nah, I don't." "But your marks and personality are high, aren't they?" "What?" "Nothing. I'm looking for a man named Timpson Weed. I got $5 for the first person points me to where he lives, and if he actually lives there, I got another $5 when I come back from seeing him." I was already out a large part of my initial down payment on the case. The little girl gave me the hairy eyeball, like a banker considering your credit report. "Let me see your money." I took a $5 out of my wallet and held it between my fingers. "Right there," she said. She pointed at a door on a landing above us. "I was told number 905, not 605. "You know so good, why you asking?" "That is a very good point." I had asked because the lady who hired me said she couldn't remember if it was a 9 or a 6. This way I had confirmation. Either that or I had just been worked out of $5. I gave her the bill, went up the stairs and over to the door. I could smell cooking food from under it, chicken and dumplings and a lot of onions. I could also hear the TV going, a game show. I knocked on the door. I waded through a couple of ice ages before it was opened. It was a short woman with a flower pattern on her housecoat. She was about 35. She had her hair cut close. She was a little thick, with breasts that appeared to need somewhere else to live, there not being room enough in the housecoat. She wore fluffy pink house shoes, a fresher pair than those Mrs. Elton had worn. Must have been a trend. They were open in the front and her toes stuck out, and her toenails were painted silver. Her fingernails didn't match. They were red. "What you want?" "And good afternoon to you." "What the fuck you want? I got things to do." "I was told this was the address of the charm school." "The what?" I was being uppity and an asshole, but all I was trying to do was help Louise Elton get a fair shake for her son, and I had gotten nothing but shit from an 11-year-old on up. For all I knew, Louise's son Jamar was a bad guy and had died being bad. But the idea was to find out, and so far I was batting nothing. On the other hand, considering how it was in Camp Rapture, at least in some sections, I'd be suspicious too, especially if they thought I was a cop. "Who's that at the door?" I heard a voice say. I tried peeking around the woman in the doorway, but that wasn't possible. She had a way of moving so that she was in my eye line. A moment later, a big black man without a shirt came to the door and eased her aside. "What's all this racket?" he said. "This Peckerwood done here asking questions," the woman said. "Go on back there and watch the stove, and pull that goddamn housecoat together, woman." She gave me a look that almost knocked me over the railing, then disappeared in the back to watch the stove and whatever she was cooking.